Hello, everybody. How are you doing? I hope everyone is fine. Just let me know in the chat box if you can hear and see me clearly. Yes, Raj says yes. Perfect. Great. So welcome to the 5-day speaking course in which we'll learn how to sound better as we speak, right? And this is day 1. And as you can see in the background, today's session is called Seeing Sounds. So you must be wondering, why is it seeing sounds? Sounds are supposed to be heard and not seen. So the reason why the session is called Seeing Sounds is because we are going to recognize each sound not just as a unit that can be heard, but also a unit that should be recognized visually as symbols. Many of you would be already accustomed with the symbols we use for sounds, but today we're going to break this down to a little more detail and try to understand how to use that to improve the way we speak, right? So without further ado, let's begin by showing you 2 images, okay? And you have to name these 2 images. What is being shown in these 2 images? And here we go. These are the 2 images. Here's the first one. And here's the second one. Just use the chat box to give the answers. What are these 2 images of? Snacks, Lovedeep says. Snacks and snakes, Sunil says. Many of you are giving absolutely the correct answer. Now, some of you must have guessed it already. Many people say, oh, I'm really hungry. It's evening time. Do you have some snakes? And I'm like, wait a minute, are we in China? Is that how coronavirus started? Like having things? I'm sorry, I don't want to be racist here, but I don't know. It's weird to eat snakes, at least for me, right? So what they actually want to say is, well, I'm hungry, I want to have snacks. So the A sound and the A sound, the snakes has the A sound, snacks has the A sound. The sound gets confused. Let's look at another pair of words and let's see if we can understand what are the 2 confusing words that we associate with when we look at these images. Screen is not clear. Just a second, give it some time. It's going to be clear. Sometimes there can be internet issues. Malika, Rajshri, all of you, many of you are giving the answers. And that is correct. Jyoti, Annapurna, Manasvi, Paras, Parvez, Jyoti. One is paper, the A sound, and another one is pepper, the E sound. So there's salt and pepper. So here, this is pepper. And we're not looking at this one, but this one here is definitely paper. So how to first see the people who make these mistakes, not everybody makes this everyone makes this mistakes, but we have to realize one thing, that English sounds different when we move from one place to other. The people who speak English sounds different because the language with geography has its own, like it changes its own feature. For example, when I talk to somebody from the western part of India, they say that the newspaper, they say per, newspaper. And when I talk to somebody maybe from West Bengal, I heard newspaper. One R becomes pa, and the last sound becomes Listen, newspaper, The sound and newspaper, the sound sounds quite different, right? And Also, Americans, they say paper. Britishers, they don't even pronounce it. They say paper. They say paper. So there's so many different varieties of the same sound, the R sound. So let me write it down for you here. So we are looking at the sound R. This is not the letter, mind you. This is the sound R. And this has many varieties. Right? Loads of them. But all of them mean the same thing. And nobody gets confused. I mean, when you say pepper and paper, then the meaning changes. But when someone says newspaper and paper, we can still understand, although there's a bit of difference, right? So what we are aiming at is understandability, right? We should be able to understand. That's our first aim. And then we can move ahead to pronounce something which is more standardized, so that it doesn't matter if you're talking to someone who's a localite, who is born and brought up in the same place as you are, or you're speaking with someone from a different country altogether. But still, there's absolutely no loss of meaning. You can transfer everything without any problem. Now, in order to reach that, you have to really work hard. But first aim is just understandability, right? So this feature that we just looked at, in which they're different sounds, but they have the same meaning and they're very, very close to each other. This sound feature is known as allophones, right? The set of words. So all the versions of R that we saw, the R, the R, and even the silent British paper, that one. They're all allophones. Why? Because allophones are sounds that change slightly, but the meaning doesn't change. So you can think of many other words like these, many other sounds like these. See, there's no problem to produce allophones, but there is a problem, as you saw in the picture, snakes and snacks and pepper and paper. The meaning starts getting dissolved. The meaning starts getting confusing when you produce different sounds that are not allophones, right? Let me give you more examples. For example, the sound O, this is the O sound. Let me write it correctly. This is the O sound. Now, this is not English, guys. Wait. So as I was saying, the sound O, right? Now, I'm not saying the letter O. I'm saying the sound O. There's a difference between sounds and alphabets. We're going to focus on that in this session, right? So this sound has a similar variety in India, and it is the sound O. So when I say the word go in India, it's absolutely fine to say go. But if you hear a British person, they would say go, like go away. So you don't have to really copy somebody else's accent. You can produce a similar allophone which is present in your variety of English. For example, Indian English or Uzbek English, if there is an Uzbek English, or from wherever you are, right? Which is okay when you're communicating. But what is not okay is to use a sound which is already present in your variety of English that means something else, right? So you don't have to say go. Go is absolutely fine if you're in India. There are more sounds like these. For example, A sound, like straight. So if I write the word straight, this word can be said as straight as well as straight. Now, straight is what most Indians use, straight. Now, they don't use straight, although straight is more internationally spoken, right? It's spoken in American, British, Australian, and many versions of native English. So what Indians do is they make a long A sound like this, straight, which is also okay. Why? Because it's again an allophone, right? So I just want you to understand one thing, that these symbols that we are using here, all these symbols, the one here, 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 all these symbols, they are not one particular sound. They are actually a principal sound, you know, and they are a principal sound that represent a family of sounds, just like all the r's that we saw, all the different r sounds that we saw. So one sound that could be the leader of the family that mean the same thing, right? All the allophones, the family of sounds, I mean all the allophones here. So each symbols, so we're talking about symbols here, right? So this is the aim of today's lesson. So first, the next 15 to 20 minutes we'll spend on knowing half the sounds present in English, and the next 15 to 20 minutes we'll try to analyze the second half of the sounds of English. But in order to understand the difference between pronunciation and accent, you know, there's a separate video that is streaming on YouTube and as well as Facebook on the Facebook page of Anshu's English Lessons. It's called Sounds of English. I would recommend you to watch that. It's a very long full lesson video. So if you're really interested in understanding the accent version, which we are not focusing much on this session, go and watch that. If I stream this on YouTube, then I'll just link a card on top here. So you'll just like click on the card and you'll be able to watch the video. Now, let's dive into the meat of the session. Many of you were informed that you need to install this app called Learn English Sounds Right. Okay, so Learn English Sounds Right is an app that you need to install. If you haven't installed, then you can install after the session today. That shows all the sounds of English, all the sounds of English. And how does it show? By presenting something which is known as the phonemic chart. So this is a phonemic chart, and this is a screenshot of the app Learn English Sounds Right app, and this shows the phonemic chart of English. So as you can see, there are a lot of symbols. Many of you must be thinking, oh my God, what is it? It almost looks like the periodic table of all the elements of chemistry. So the periodic table shows all the elements present on Earth. And maybe from other planets like plutonium. Oh no, that is Superman, I guess. I'm sorry, I'm mixing up comic books and education. Anyways, so periodic table shows the elements of Earth, and this table here, this phonemic chart, shows all the sounds of English. So if a sound is there which is not in this table, not in this chart, then most probably you are pronouncing it incorrectly, right? So we are not going to understand every word here, sorry, every sound here. That would take some time, but we can start analyzing it by breaking it into different parts. And this chart already makes it very easy by, just a second. Hemant asks, repeat the name of the app. Hemant, it's British Council's Sounds Right. Learn English Sounds Right. I'll just share that in the Edmodo group, so don't worry. Just be a part of the Edmodo group, that's all. Yeah, so where were we? Yeah, we were here in this phonemic chart. Now this chart, this particular screenshot is taken from this app that is created by the British Council. I also work in this organization. And there are many other phonemic chart available also publicly. There's a Macmillan version, there's a Cambridge version, Oxford version, and they're there in their websites. So you can use any one of them, and this is equally good. So in the app, what you can do is you can touch on all these symbols individually. The moment you touch it, you can hear the sound. Okay, so let's understand them. Now see, this chart has been broken down into two main categories. So if you see, this is the first category, And this is the second category. This is 1 and this is 2, right? So let's understand why this has been done. And there's a further breakdown where this has been broken off from the first category. So let's understand what they are. So you must have already seen this word here, vowels, and you must be thinking of A, E, I, O, U. Now, mark that they're all letters. They're all alphabets. They're not sounds. Sounds are much more complicated. There are 5 alphabets, which are vowels, but there are 12 present in this group, and then 8 more present in this group. So 20 vowel sounds. And those are the numbers of vowel sounds present in English language. So that is this is about vowels, right? And now let's talk about the second group, that is consonants, right? Similarly, consonants also, they're sounds, they're not alphabets. And you could see that there are some different symbols, which sometimes look like English, sometimes not so much. For example, this looks like a theta from your physics class, and this something else, I forgot the name of it, and this one, and this one, right? But when it comes to English, it has a very specific and different meaning, right? This has nothing to do with physics or mathematics. We'll get into the details in a moment. So this is the focus of today's session, and let's begin with vowels. First, I want you to do this, right? It might seem a little stupid, but trust me, I'm going to prove a point if you do it. So I want you to do this, okay? Sit straight and try to focus on this area of your mouth, of your face. And then focus on the things which are moving as you pronounce the sounds of the names of the letters of vowels in English. This is how you do it. Do like this. Now it might be stupid, but just bear with me and do it, okay? Do this. A, E, I, O, U. Do it slowly. It is stupid, I know, but just do it. And as you do it, just try to focus and pay attention of what is happening here. A, E, I, O, U. And use the chat box to give the answer of what did you observe? What is happening to this area of your mouth? Lower jaw is moving a lot. Okay. Achyut says this. Okay. What else? A lot of jaw movement. Someone called iPhone. Please change your name from iPhone to whoever you are. Jyoti says position of mouth and tongue. Now, this is exactly what I want to focus here, right? We're looking at vowel sounds, guys. So first, let's look at what vowel sounds mean. Vowel sounds are produced when a voiced airstream comes out of the mouth without any restriction. What is the meaning of voiced airstream? Airstream is a stream of air. Voiced means when the vocal cords are involved. There's a voice involved. There's vibration in the vocal cords, in the larynx of your throat, of your sound box, right? When there is no restriction, then all the sounds that come out, and if they have meaning, they're all vowels, right? They have to have meaning, right? So you cannot just take out any sound like that won't be a sound, that won't be a vowel. That would be an airstream of voiced airstream without restriction. Right? But if it has meaning, there are vowels, and there are 3 things involved when you do this, right? First thing is the tongue. The tongue moves. All the things that you produce. See, the tongue is like a wavy elastic in our face, and it moves and it gives shape to our mouth, and we produce different vowel sounds. And the similar thing is done by our lips. They move, as many of you said. Lips and tongue, Devabrata says. And the lower jaw, and that plays a very important role in moving and readjusting the shape of your mouth that changes the sounds, and we produce vowels. So this is about the mechanism of vowels, but let's try to understand what are these vowels? Now see, there are two kinds of vowels as we saw already, right? In the first kind, we have a set of 12 sounds, right? So if you count, they're 4, 4, 4, first 4, second 4, third 4. All these have a special characteristic. That's why they're clubbed together, right? They have only one vowel sound. There's just one specific vowel sound. For example, the first one is E, the long E, this one. Right? Can you give me an example of a word here? Jaspal says seat. Yes. So we've got seat. Correct. The next one is E, short E. Yeah, many of you are giving examples. Great. Short E. It will take sit. Right? This will take sit. Then we have got the short oo sound that will take like cook, right? So let me write cook. The next one is the long oo sound, right? This one. And you can say, can you give me a word with a long oo sound? How about loot? Vaibhav, took is the short one. Rajashri, you're correct. Soon. Jaspal, correct. Shoe. That's absolutely right. Let's look at the next one. This is the eh sound. So that will, the word would be like bet. The next one is the sound, just like about. About, the first sound of about. Above, correct, Gautam. Sachin, not act. Sound is not here, not yet. The next one is this sound. This is the sound, just like bird, the sound. Okay, the long So it's like when you see something or touch something disgusting, that's the sound you take out. Like bird or shirt, like sound. Heard, yes, correct, Sid. Nishu, yes, correct. So let me write bird here. Next one is sound, the long You know, when the cricketers do a bowling and there's a very touch and go situation where the ball just almost touches the wicket and goes, and they do you know, that sound. Just like, give me an example. Walk, Jaspal says. Correct. Floor, Rajashri says. Absolutely correct. So let me write walk here. See, it's not walk. W-O-K, walk is a Chinese thing, which means a huge cauldron where people mix things. That's a walk. Many people say, I'm going for a walk. That's wrong. You have to say, I'm going for a walk. Now see how the length of the vowel sound changes the meaning. They're not allophones, guys, so you can't do it. Okay, so let me write walk here. The next one is the sound that Sachin said, act. So I'm going to write act here. There are many like fat. There's give me another word. Fantastic. So fantastic. Fact, Rajashri says. Vaibhav says fact. Yes, correct. The next one. Now, this is a sound that mostly people from West Bengal have a lot of problem with. Now, this is the sound. For example, I gave you the newspaper example, right? It's newspaper, so the sound should be there. But what you can do is, instead of saying a cup of tea, you can say a cup of tea. So just make it short. It's the sound itself, but shorter, like a cup of tea, right? It's a truck, right? It's give me more words that has the sound. But, Vaibhav, absolutely correct. Jaspal says love, absolutely correct. It's not love. Now, I know many of you must have heard this, I love you. Instead of v, it's b, and becomes a. So just shorten it and you're good. Like you can impress your boyfriends or girlfriends. Anyways, I'm just being cheesy here. Okay, so this is L-O-V, love, you can say. Then R sound, this is the long sound, and this is what you need to not shorten. For example, he's my father. Don't say father. Father, it makes it really weird. That's not correct. Give me more words. Far, Malika says. Right? I have to go far. I have to go far. No, you don't have to go far. You have to go far. Right? So car, yes, not car, but car. Make it longer. So as you can see that we are focusing a lot on the length of the single vowel sound, right? All of these are single vowel sounds. The first group here. And the second group we're going to talk about soon, just after the last sound, that is the O sound. This is the O sound. The last one, this one. The O sound has the word like, come on, give me some words with the O. It's just like got. Jyoti, I think you wanted to type what, W-H-A-T. Mock says Sunil. Gautam says, oh, sorry, Gautam, your answer is just blew past the other speedy answers that are coming. Himanshi says stop, absolutely correct. Oh sound, oh. It's a very short sound, right? And that is what we're going to look at now. Now see, guys, when you look at single vowel sounds, all of them, we just looked at examples, right? We can distinguish them by thinking of which one is a long sound and which one is a short sound, right? So I'm going to give a number to every sound here, okay? And I'm going to ask you which ones are long. So just write the numbers on the chat box. And after that, I'm going to ask short and just write the numbers of the sound in the chat box. So let me number every sound. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Right? First, let's look at the long sounds. Can you write the numbers of which sounds are long? We just discussed them. Manpreet says 4, okay? Sachin says 12. Remember, Sachin, we'll discuss it's got, see? Got. So do you think got has a long aw sound, like got? No. Oh, a lot of answers streaming in. Let me give you the right answers, guys. I don't think many of you got it. I don't think any of you got it right. Some of you got it partially correct. Ansh has given a lot of answers. Now see, guys, when you talk about the length, the symbols make it very clear. Now see, some of the symbols, they have 2 triangles facing each other. You can also make circles for them. All of them are long sounds, guys. All these dudes here, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Oh, actually, there's 1, 4, 7, 8, and 11. Many of you 1, 4, 7, 8, 11. Paris gave the right answer. Jyoti has given the right answer. Ansh, you have also given the right answer. 1, 4, 8, partially correct. Good. Many of you have given the right answer. Well done. Now, all the others which are left, all of them are short ones. All these ones, right? So this is the difference that you need to understand in order to sound better when it comes to vowel single sounds. Do not stretch the longer ones and, sorry, do not stretch the short sounds, the yellow ones here, and do not shorten the long sounds, which are in green here, like this one, like father. Don't make it father, right? Okay, great. So I'm not going to write the whole thing here in the table. You can do that for homework. Let's move on and look at the other type of vowels here. So we have an elite group of 8 sounds sitting together as a queen and a king. So as you can see, they're in pairs, right? So what you can understand here is they do not function alone. They come together, right? So the first sound is the ear sound, ear. So just like ear is an example, that is the first one. The second one is air, just like A-I-R. This is how you sound it. Give me more words that has the sound air, the double vowel sound. Wherever you said fair, that's correct. Madhu says fear, but Madhu, try to understand, it's the ear sound, not air sound. So fear will come here, right? And H-A-I-R, hair, will come here. See, come here and here. Many people say come here. Maybe they're talking to people who are bald, like come here, come back, like from the movie Bala or something, right? So that is incorrect, guys. Why am I saying incorrect? Not because of the accent. I will never, ever say that there's a problem with the accent. The problem is with the pronunciation. The meaning gets lost. So come here is wrong because they're not hair, air, and ear are not allophones. Only substitute allophones. That's allowed. Pair, Sunil says, and chair and bear, many. Good, layer. Great. Let's move on to the next one. We have O. Now, as we already discussed, this is the posh British way of talking, right? Oh, so you've come here finally. Like, oh, and go, and like, give me more O words. Bow, yeah, I'm wearing a bow and a tie. And bow. So don't do that if you don't want to exaggerate your fake accent. But if you're talking to someone who cannot understand what O means, then you can try to make them understand by saying O, right? Instead of saying O. But O is absolutely fine. So let me remind you that this sound, O, is also okay. So one example would be go. Then ow. This is the Shakti Kapoor sound, right? Ow. Also, when someone punches you, you say ow. That is a sound. But give me some words that has ow in English. Now, Gautam says, absolutely. Wow, Nishu says. Yeah, so let me write wow here. The next one is, it's going to take time. The internet is a little slow. Yeah. Next one is the ua sound. Now, this is something that I have often heard my friends say. The word is sure. Okay, are you sure about that? Sure, ua. But they say two things. One, are you sure about that? Sure, just like the seashore, which confuses people. And the second one is the funny one. It's sure, right? That is a very West Bengal thing. Sure or sure, whatever. Like that's not the way. EO is not a diphthong. See, diphthong means double vowel sounds. Yeah, I forgot to tell you. Diphthongs is another name of. It's a like a official name of two sounds together, like all these. There's no diphthong like EO, guys. EO has, there's no word that has EO in it. Think of it in English. If you say geo, well, geo is not an English word. Geography is there, like geography, it has the geo, right? The G is a separate syllable, O has a separate syllable, they don't come together. Leo. Now, see, if you write the pronunciation of Leo here, so Vaibhav has written Leo, Mario. Now try to understand. When you write Leo or Mario, what is happening here is E has a sound Y in between. So this is EO, Y. Can you get it? So it's not Mario, it's Mario. So it's Ma, Ri, and then let me write it down. See, J has the Ya sound, okay? We'll come to that in a while. Mario. So if you just look at the dictionary, you will find this Ya sound in Mario and Leo and all these things. Let's move ahead. Okay. So, no sure and no sure, we are looking at sure. Give me more words with the ua sound. We've got poor, Sid, we discussed geo already. It's not an English word. Think of more words. Poor. Poor is an example. Give me more words. Tour. T-O-U-R. Tour. P-W-R. Poor. And all the other rhyming words. Yoa. You are. Yes, you are also. Yes. Now, Vihan, you said roar. Now, roar has the O sound, which is a single vowel sound. There's no oo in roar. Okay. Let's move on, guys. A lot of time spent there. Now, A is the next one. It's like someone who runs with your bag, some pickpocket. You said A, right? That's the same sound, A. So give me some word. I already gave one to you, like straight. A has straight in it. Day, Vihan says. Sid says play. Jaspal says way. Manasvi says say. All of them are correct. Absolutely correct. Now see, again, I'll remind you, the Indian version is the long A. Like day is fine. You don't have to make it day. But here's my suggestion. If you want to sound a little better, if you want to make it more standard, where everybody in the world understands you better, just add a little bit of E after the A sound, like day. Instead of saying day, instead of saying Monday, say Monday, a little bit of E. You don't have to fake an accent by saying Monday, or the Australian way of saying Monday. You don't have to do that. But what you can do is just add a little bit of E and it becomes a little more standardized, right? The same goes with go also. Instead of saying go, just add a little bit of before that. So it becomes go. Go, I don't want to see you. Instead of saying go, I don't want to see you, which is also fine, but just add a little bit of and becomes more standard. Okay, great. And that is my personal suggestion, guys. Don't tell me that this is what you have to do and why are you deviating from that. I'm just suggesting language is fluid, keeps changing, but we have to be with the trend, the current version of English or any language that is alive. Okay, I is the next word, just like the I or me, the me I. So I is a sound. Give my I. Yes, Sina, correct. Fly, absolutely correct, Sid. Then the last sound is oi. Oi. This is also a very Bangla thing, like oi. Where are you going? Oi. So give me more words. Roy, joy. Yes. Toy. Correct. Let me write toy here. So you got an idea. These are the 8 pairs of sounds, double vowel sounds. Okay, they're known as diphthongs, and they're also known as glides, just for your reference. These names are not important, but what is important is the sound, right? Now see, there are 3 categories that we can divide them in order to remember that all the glides, they end either with a, u, or e. There is no other glide that ends with any other sound, right? So what are the ones that end with a? See, there's ear that ends with a, the sound. Then there is air. Then the third one is ua. All of them, they end with the sound. And then we've got some words that end with the u sound, the short u. We have got o, and we've got ow, just 2. And the third one ending with e. And we've got all 3 of them here. It's a, I, and oi. Just like straight I toy. I bought the straight toy, to make a sentence out of all of them. Great. So let's clean this mess up. Or let it be. It's okay. Let's play a game, guys. Okay. We are going to play a game that I know all of you must have played. If not played, then you must have seen someone else play, mostly in school time. It's called, people who can read Bengali will be able to understand this. It's called Cut Kut in Bengali properly. It's also known as tic-tac-toe. Knots and crosses is the international way of saying it. Many people call it as knots and crosses. But here's the twist. We are going to use our knowledge of the symbols of the sounds of vowels to play this game right now. Okay, there'll be 2 teams, and I'm randomly calling some names. And whenever I call a name, you have to give a word that has a sound which will be mentioned here. Okay, so let me first mention the symbol. So let me put the sound here, here, and here. Okay, and then see, people who have already installed the Sounds Right app, you can keep that in front of you for reference. That'll help you understand. Then we have the ear sound here, and we can take the sound here and a sound here, and let's take a long sound here. Let's take here and the long sound e here. So our game is ready. Now this is what you need to do. When I call somebody, you can choose any of these sounds, right? Choose any one and give me a word. I'm going to make first a circle, right? If it's correct. If the word that you said has the sound present in the screen right now, then I'm going to circle that sound. The next person who I call is going to say another word that has a sound which is present somewhere on the screen here. I'm going to give a cross there, right? And hence our knots and crosses game begin. Let me give you an example. For example, I say the word about has a sound, right? So first I'm going to circle the one, right? And then the next word I'm going to say is day. Day has the a sound, so I'm going to cross this one. And then the third person is going to say something, and I'm going to make circle. The aim is for somebody to make like a 3 consecutive either circles that has knots, or 3 consecutive crosses, be it horizontally, vertically, or diagonally, right? If one of them exists, then the game is over. That team has won. Okay, so I want people to raise their hands. Whoever will raise their hands, not in your video, guys. On Zoom, there's a raise hand option. So press that, and I'm going to select a few of you to give me words, and we can continue playing from here. Sachin is the first person to. I've unmuted Sachin. Give a word, Sachin. I'm going to make a circle. Sachin, I'm doing the unmuting, so you are muting yourself. So don't touch the mute button. I have unmuted you. Start speaking.
It's the O sound. That's opportunity.
Choose any.
Okay.
I'll help you. So the first one here is the a sound. This is the a sound. So give me a word.
A sound, that's attack.
Attack. So attack is the a sound first, then the a sound. Great. So 2 circles. Now the next person I choose, you have to somehow block this sound. Okay. Let me help you. This has the o sound. So let me choose Manasvi. Sachin, mute yourself. Okay. Manasvi, go ahead and give us a word with o.
Awesome.
Now, that was a very good try, and many of us pronounce it like awesome, but it's actually awesome. The aw sound, you know, we have to stretch the aw, like awesome. Instead of saying awesome, we should say awesome, right? But very good try. This clears many people's doubts. Good job. I'll give you another try, Manasvi. Go ahead. Give me another word that has the aw sound. Any others?
Obtain.
Obtain. Okay. Oh, that's absolutely correct. Good job there. So you have successfully blocked the circles team, the knots team, and the next person, Manasvi, I'm muting you. The next person is gonna be Hemant. Hemant, go ahead. Give us a word.
It may be seat.
Feet, great. Okay, so let me circle this. Let me choose the next person, it's gonna be Annapurna.
Sir, I'm confused what to say.
Okay, I'll help you, Annapurna. So there are 4 options for you, right? So these 4 are the options. So just 1, 2, 3, 4. The first one is A. I'm sorry, I've written it wrong. This should be A this way. A, yes. The first one is A. The second one is Ua, right? The third one is A, and the last one is A. Give us a word, anyone.
Sir, tour.
Tour, okay. So let me cross this one.
Tour.
Yes, that's absolutely correct. So good job. I think the green team has blocked the red team. Red team, go ahead. Navya, I nominate you, Navya. Tell us a word with any of these 3 sounds. The first one on top is A. The second one is A, and the third one is A. This one is A. The one above there on top is A. Give us any word.
Dark.
Navya Sharma.
Hello.
No, Navya seems maybe there's a connection problem. Navya, can you hear us? Okay, anyways, I'm going to give a chance to Vihan here. Vihan, give us a word. Yes, so as we were here, now I just wanted to, yeah, so I'll just pick up a word that Madhu had written. She had written, it's not here available. So let me pick it up from here. Navya has said dark. So Navya, so this is the chance of the red team. So I'm going to circle here, right? Now, if somebody answers the A word properly, Sid says clay. And let me write that here. And we have the first winner. The cross team has won. So this is an example of how to play this game, right? So we can similarly play this game with other sounds also, right? So we have taken only 9 sounds out of the 20. Just pick up more sounds and you can play this game with anybody, right? So I had more templates. I'm going to share this document on the Edmodo group. If you have not joined Edmodo, I strongly recommend you to join just after this session. And if you need some tutorial and you cannot understand how to do that, I'll make a quick video, a tutorial video for you to have. And just let me know if you face problems in the WhatsApp group or be it in the Facebook page anywhere, and I'll help you to join Edmodo. But please do not skip Edmodo because that's where all the material will be. All these things I'll be sending on Edmodo. Now, let's move on quickly to consonants. Now, see, guys, we have just looked at vowels, okay? And similarly, it will not take us a lot of time to understand consonants here. So as we saw, if you haven't forgotten, that the air stream that comes out, if it's unrestricted and voiced, has a voice in it, then they're now, and have meaning also, then they're called vowels. But if the air stream or airflow that comes out of the mouth has interruption, has restriction, or somehow has a diversion, then the sound that we get are consonants. Remember, we're not talking about the alphabets. No, we're talking about sounds. There are many more sounds than alphabets, as you can see. But anyways, so these 3 points, guys: interruption, restriction, and diversion, right? So these 3 things, when they're done to airflow, then we get consonants. And of course, they should have meaning. Nothing works without meaning, right? So let's look at all the consonants here, right? Many of you must be thinking, hey, I know these words. These are English letters. But again, we've got some weird symbols that look Greek. because they are Greek. So they are Greek. Surprise, surprise. So some are Latin, some are Greek, and they have their own sounds. Let me only point out the sounds which are a little different and that can confuse you. Other sounds are exactly like the English sounds, like the l sound, then the z sound just above that. Okay, so let me first start with the theta sound. Now this is the word sound that has that is the first sound of the word thing. Oops, let me make it smaller. Like thing, the first sound here. Next one is the ch sound, just like chain. Right? This one is, Sid says through, the th sound. Now that is theta, that is a th sound. But this one is the sound, this one. So just like then, the sound, then. This is the j sound, just like judge. Right? See the two sounds, j and j. Jar, Manasvi says. Yes, correct. This is the z sound, we know that, but this one is the j sound. This one is the j sound, just like pleasure. Right? And here, this is like in thing, we saw some th sound, but this is the sound at the end. Thing. And rest all are straightforward. This one is the sh sound, just like shoe. The sh sound here. Rest are straightforward. Now, when you think of consonant, guys, you can divide them into two again. The first one are voiced, means I'm gonna help you to understand how to recognize voiced and unvoiced. First, let's understand what are voiced. Voiced sounds have a vibration in your throat. Unvoiced sound has no vibration in your throat because your vocal cords don't work while producing unvoiced sounds, right? They're also known as voiceless sounds. So let's look at the set of sounds. Now this is a test that you have to do. Do it right now, okay? Put your hand on your throat, okay? And produce these sounds. The first sound you can look at, the first one here, is the p sound. So don't make the sound, just make the first sound. I might look crazy, but trust me, I have a point to prove here, okay? Touch. Do you feel any vibration in your throat? Yes or no? Just use the chat box to let me know. They are called glottal stops, but we are not discussing that now, okay? Many of you say yes, wait. Now I want you to produce the b sound. Don't do the sound, just the first part, okay? Do that. Now, which one has vibration? B or b? Which one? Malika says b. No, b. Yes, absolutely correct. The b. All of you correct. The b sound has a vibration. So you know what? The p sound, the f sound, t, th, ch, s, sh, k. All of them have no sounds at all. They're all unvoiced because they do not have any voice. And here's something that's going to be really helpful for you. Pay attention. Now, all these voiced, all of them which were voiced, they have a counterpart, a partner, who are, all of them were unvoiced, right? They have a partner which are voiced. They have vibration. Like produce the same sound p, but add vibration and add the voice in it. So p becomes b. So this becomes b, f becomes v. The same sound, but with the voice. Keep doing it, okay? You're muted, so nobody's there to judge you. Just keep doing it. Now, Add some voice, it becomes D. Then th. Add some voice, it becomes the, like when. Ch. Add some voice, it becomes j. Add voice, it becomes z, z. And this is a problem sound. Many people cannot pronounce z properly. So something like zoom becomes joom, like joom barabar or something. I don't know, whatever. So they have a problem in producing it. So this is your the way you do it. Just produce the sound and add voice to it. This is what you need to do, right? And another problem sound that many people face is the j sound of pleasure, like just like treasure. Many people end up saying treasure, just like the z here, but no, it's not treasure, it's treasure. How to produce the j sound? Just produce the sh sound from shoe. See just above it, the sh sound, sh, and add voice to it, like sh, sh. So treasure, pleasure, right? Compulsion, j. Asia, the j sound. Bourgeois, bourgeois. Many of the French words have this sound, right? Give me more words. Measure. Thank you, Devabrata. Exaggeration, exaggeration. No, Jaspal, exaggeration doesn't have the j sound. Okay, Manasvi has to go. Great, Manasvi, see you. Bye. Great. So there are many more words that fusion. Sid, that's absolutely right. And then the voice sound of k is g, right? So g, and that's pretty much it, guys. You see, you've got the yellow ones as voiced and the green ones as unvoiced, and that's voicing for you. You've got the third line here. Her is a special case where there's absolutely no restriction, but it's deviated because there's no sound box involved. It's but without the sound. So it's just air coming out, nothing else. And all of the others, they're all voiced, guys. L, y, w. So if you touch your throat, all of them will vibrate, right? So all of them are voiced. I'm going to discuss just 5 more minutes, and I'm going to discuss some problem sounds that many people face, right? The first one is, as I said, the z and the j one. Many people, mostly in the eastern part of the country and also central part of the country, they cannot produce the v versus b sound. V versus b sound, right? So these two sounds. So what we're going to do is we're going to do something fun. And many of you must have already heard of it. They're called tongue twisters, right? There are many Hindi and Bangla and other tongue twisters in all these languages. Like in Hindi, we have khadak singh ke khadakne se khadakti hai khidkiyan. So you see the k keeps repeating, and it's sometimes difficult to speak. So we're just going to check. It will be a test for us that whether or not this sound is our problematic sound or not. So the first one is b versus v, and here is what you need to do. So you need to quickly read this 5 times quickly without errors, and you pass the test. Okay, I'm going to do it. All the best to me. Let's see if I can clear this test. Is b and v my problem? So let me try. Blue blurry vines blind, blue blurry vines blind, blue blurry vines blind, blue blurry vines blind, blue blurry vines blind. I passed the test. I don't have a problem, right? So I'm going to throw this open to others, okay, but not with this particular tongue twister. Let me give you another one. This one, and let me nominate one person. Rajashri, good, you've also passed. Guys, you can also do it along with us, but let's listen to one person, and that's gonna be Suman. Suman, go ahead and try this one.
Betty loves the velvet based. Betty loves the velvet based.
Okay, continue. The 5 times.
Betty
you said
loves
twice.
The velvet based. Betty loves the velvet based. Betty loves the velvet based.
Okay, now Madhu, you Madhu, you passed good. Anu, you also passed. But Suman, I really loved the way you said it in very fluently. But your v is a little like bh, best. So make sure that you clear the v part. Okay, it's just the voiced form of f, like father, just like f, make it voice and becomes a v. It should not be bilabial. It should not be two lips. It should be your teeth and your lower lip, like v, v, okay? Vest. That's what you should look at now. Okay. Great. Good. Let's try another sound. Okay. So this is another popular pair of sounds that is a popular mistake. The s and the sh. S and the sh. I'm just tired and exhausted and angry and frustrated of all the people who call me Ansu instead of Anshu. I'm like, it's not Ansu. It's so annoying. It's Anshu because they don't realize that they're two different sounds. They're not allophones, right? So let's practice this. I want one person to say this 5 times really quickly. Let me choose Malika. Malika, you're unmuted. Go ahead and say it 5 times.
She sells fish. Okay, I will
Try
start.
again. Yes. Yes.
She sells seashells by the seashore. She sells
Perfect.
seashells by the seashore. She sells seashells by the seashore. She sells seashells by the seashore. She sells seashells by the seashore.
Correct. Brilliant. You did it. Perfect. Sachin, I'll give you the next try. Good job, Malika. Great. You can also, all of you can, rest of you can also try it. Let's look at another one with sir and sh. This time, let me give Sachin a chance. Sachin, go ahead.
Sherman shops at cheap chop shoe shops. 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 Sherman shops at cheap chop shoe shops.
Yes, you did it right. So sh and sir and ch, they're not your problems. You've passed the test, Sachin. Good job. Great. Let's move on to 2 more, and I'm gonna end the session. Now, this sound, the w sound, has given problems to many people, mostly in the west, in the eastern part of India. Sachin, you can mute yourself, yeah? Yeah. So the w sound sometimes is mistaken as the u sound. U. Like instead of where, many people say where. I don't know how that happened. Maybe because languages like Assamese, Odia, Bangla, they do not have the w sound. I'm not sure. I'm just guessing. I'm not an expert in those languages, but Bangla, I know there's no w. So they substituted with u. Like weather becomes weather. I might be wrong, but this is something that many people need to understand, that the w sound has to be pronounced by using both the lips. So let's test this and let's practice this. All of you can do it on your own, but I'm going to mute one person and let's select Kapil Mahato. Go ahead, we can hear you, Kapil. Kapil, go ahead, we can hear you. Do you want to try it? Oh, okay, let me select someone else. Let me select Madhu has passed it. Good. Rituparna Das. Go ahead and read it 5 times.
How much would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck would chuck wood? How much would
Okay, I'll stop you there. I'll stop you there, Rituparna. Just good. You're reading really well. Just that one sound instead of wa, what you're doing is you're making it oo, right? Don't say would. You're saying oo. Don't do that. Say wa, would. Wa. Try doing that. Yeah. So it's how much would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood. So would, not would. Go ahead, give it another try. Rituparna. Is she here? Am I connected or am I disconnected? Can you hear me, guys? Just say a yes, one or two of you. Yeah, great. Okay, so I think it's Rituparna. Oh, Rituparna has muted herself again. Rituparna, would you want to try once more? Yeah, I have unmuted you. Yeah.
How much would a woodchuck?
Would, not would. Would.
Would.
Not would. Would.
Would. How
Yes,
much
correct.
Would a woodchuck
Yes.
chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
Again, so you did it once very successfully. Next.
How much would a woodchuck chuck?
You have to
if a
say 4 more
woodchuck
times.
Chuck wood? How much would a woodchuck chuck?
Okay.
If a woodchuck could chuck wood?
2, 3.
How much?
I think you've got slow internet, so
if a
when.
woodchuck could chuck wood?
Okay, great. I can hear the words really well. 2 more times.
How much would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? How much
Absolutely
would
perfect.
A woodchuck
Next.
chuck
Yes.
If a woodchuck could chuck wood?
Can we clap for her? We just saw her transform right now in the college, in the session. So good job, brilliant. I'm really happy. From oo to wa. Just remember that, yeah. Good job, Rituparna. Great. You can mute yourself. And let's do the final one. This is a fun one. Let me select a Madhu for this because she has been passing every other one. Let's see if she passes this one also. Let me unmute. Madhu. I can't find Madhu. Is she there? Yeah. Go ahead, Madhu. Say this 5 times really quick.
Yeah. Just jippy jippers jip. Just
I want to stop here. Good. Rest all the sounds are perfect. Just that this sound, Madhu, instead of z, what is happening is you're making it j, like this sound, which is not the correct one. Try to make the z sound. Do this. See, the sound, just like add voice to that. So becomes z. Do that. Z. No. And add voice. Do that. That's absolutely correct. That's the sound. And now go ahead and try this.
Zippy zippers zip.
Correct. Three correct. One word you made a mistake. 3 times you did it rightly. Go ahead again.
Zippy zippers zip.
Correct. 2 times. Next.
Zippy zippers zip.
Perfect. Last one. Focus on the last one. Okay. It's zips.
Zippy zippers zips.
Correct. And one more time.
Zippers zips.
Absolutely correct. Can we clap for Madhu also? We've just like cleaned up one sound of 2 people and I'm very happy. Brilliant. Now see guys, so I've got more of these tongue twisters and I'm going to post this on Edmodo as I told you. Practice them. I'm going to also send more links of different websites that have loads of tongue twisters. Just practice them and clean up the consonant sounds and the vowel sounds. You can play knots and crosses, the Katkoot game that we played. And from now on, you start seeing sounds. You know, this session didn't end seeing sounds. This session began your journey of seeing sounds as symbols, right? You've opened the dictionary. Instead of pressing the microphone button and listening to the sound, also focus on these transcriptions. You know, the ones that I showed you here, all these sounds. Yeah, this one. All these sounds are there, and try to see if you can produce each one of them. Identify, I repeat, identify your problem sounds, just like we identified some problem sounds of some people here, and go ahead and clarify those individual sounds, right? That's how you'll be able to see the sounds. Great, so this is the end of the first session. For the second session, we're going to look at stress, which is a superbly important topic that will revolutionize the way you sound, because most of us, and trust me, 90% of us, we don't understand how stress works. Not the mental stress, of course we understand that. For that, I've made a meditation video on my separate channel. Do watch that. But this is a different stress of language that we're talking about, right? Where we emphasize on certain parts of the word or the sentence. And that's what we're going to look at day after tomorrow. So I have a homework for you. Do this before you come for the session next. Do it today or tomorrow. Now here's a word hunt for you. There are names of 10 vegetables which are hidden here, okay? I'll give you one example. So I know some of you have already found a few. See, it says tomato. It has the R sound, but many of you also say it as tomato, which is also fine, like the A sound, tomato. But anything else like tomato and other words, they are not fine, because that's not the pronunciation of the vegetable. And it is not vegetable, it's vegetable, the sound, not the A sound, right? Vegetable. So this is what you need to do. There are 9 more vegetable sounds and words. They're hidden, and this is a word hunt that you have to do. Do it at home, you do it alone or do it with other people, but just do it. And do not post the answers on Edmodo, okay? Do not post it before I post it, and just check it with that. If you post the answers, others are just gonna read them and the activity will be ruined for them, right? So I'm just gonna post it on Edmodo. Do it on your own, keep it with you. I'm gonna post the answers maybe today in the evening or tomorrow in the evening or maybe day after in the morning. It's not important when I post it. The important point is you understanding and practicing the sounds of English. That's all for today, guys. I hope you found the session useful, and I had an amazing time. And I hope you did too. So thanks a lot for joining me, and see you the day after tomorrow. Bye-bye. I'm going to wait for just like 10, 15 seconds to see if there are questions, and rest of you can go. Bye-bye. See ya. How to practice these sounds more. Malika, just start using the dictionary. If you just open the Cambridge dictionary, do you want me to show it to you? Let me see if I can show it to you. So if you open a dictionary, Malika, you'll be able to see that every word, so type a word, for example, the name, the meaning of your name means queen, I guess. So if I search queen, you see that, yes, you can hear, right? You can hear the pronunciation, but see there's the IPA transcription also. IPA means phonemic symbol, the one that we saw. So, but instead of listening to the sound, yeah, good that you listen to it. Also look at these symbols, right? So see, it's queen. Many people say it as queen with the short E sound, just like this, which is not correct. It's a long E sound. See the one that we saw today, queen. So this is how you can practice more sounds like these, Malika. Any other questions? Thank you. Thank you. Any other suggestions, Malika asks? To start, so if you're writing something, if you have a habit of writing, then just pick up one word that you've learned recently and just transcribe the whole thing on your own and then match it with the dictionary. This is the second way of practicing sounds. Do the tongue twisters, right? Just like practice the tongue twisters and write down the repeating sound and identify these sounds. That's how you can practice sounds too. Is there any mode where we can hear these sounds? Sounds Right, Learn English Sounds Right, British Council app, the app that I told everybody to download. I've also sent screenshots on the WhatsApp group, but I will also mention that in the Edmodo group also. But do join the Edmodo group, guys. Sina, repeat the question. What question are you talking about? I didn't ask any question. Nishu, I tried but couldn't get. See, I'll show you, Nishu. See, this is the one. British, and if you press any of the, see, so I'm just like pressing, so I'm pressing the long oo sound, and you can listen to it. Homework, Jyoti is asking. Homework is the vegetable word hunt. I'm going to post that on Edmodo. So this is how the icon looks. Let me take a screenshot and show you. Nishu, this is for you and everybody else who wants to install the Sounds Right app. This is the app that you need to install. It works for iPhones, from App Store, as well as from your Play Store for Android phones. Okay. That's all, guys. I'm tired. Bye-bye. See ya.